Hey guys, tonight we step right into the frantic heart of an Aztec festival, where color, sound, and chaos swirl around you like a storm, and suddenly you're yanked from the crowd. No warning, no time to brace. You probably won't survive this, but hey, that's kind of the point. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And while you're at it, drop your location and local time in the comments, because tonight's story stretches across centuries and continents. But I'm curious where you're tuning in from. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You're standing among a sea of bodies. Brightly dressed dancers whirl past, their feathered headdresses catching sunlight and shadow in dizzying patterns. The air is thick with the scent of copal incense and roasting maize, the steady thump of drums sinking deep into your chest like a second heartbeat. Suddenly, rough hands clamp onto your arms, pulling you sideways, away from the festive throng. Panic claws up your throat as the noise fades to a distant roar. Captured. You, an Aztec sacrifice victim. The Empire's expansion has brought you here, a prisoner chosen for something far bigger than any battle you fought. Historians still argue whether all victims were war captives or sometimes willing participants seeking divine favor, but right now, none of that matters. You're part of the ritual, destined for the temple. Your senses sharpen oddly. The scent of burning copal incense thickens. Smoke curls in golden waves, blurring the edges of the stone plaza. Nearby, you glimpse the glint of obsidian blades, black as night, but sharp as lightning. You remember hearing that the Aztecs used crocodile dung as sunscreen. Practical, if a little gross. It's strange how everyday life weaves into these sacred rites. As you're dragged forward, the sound of chanting priests rises like a tide. Their voices hum in an ancient language, vibrating in your chest and twisting your stomach into knots. Around you, faces blur into masks of painted colors, reds, blacks, whites, each symbol telling stories you can't quite decipher. You catch the wide eyes of children in the crowd, some fascinated, some frightened, reflecting your own conflicted feelings. The ground beneath your feet is worn smooth by countless pilgrims, each step bringing you closer to the towering temple pyramid, the heart of the ritual. Your own heartbeat thunders in your ears, matching the pounding drums. Time seems to slow, the world narrowing to the rough rope biting into your skin, the hot sun beating down, and the terrifying clarity that this moment will change everything. You don't know what will come next, but you feel deep inside that this is no ordinary day. This is a crossing, a boundary where life and death, human and divine, intersect in ways that still baffle scholars today. You try to steady your breathing, but the tight grip of the captors doesn't loosen. You're led through a shifting maze of people, priests swathed in jaguar skins, warriors painted like eagles, and a sea of ordinary faces whose expressions are hard to read. Some seem indifferent, others hopeful, as if your sacrifice is an offering to keep their world turning. Nearby, children tug at their parents' sleeves, their wide eyes reflecting the flickering flames of torches. You wonder what they make of this moment, a terrifying rite of passage or a necessary act of divine balance. It's easy to forget that the Aztecs saw sacrifice not just as death, but as life's essential counterweight, a vital pulse in the heart of their cosmos. Your mind flickers to odd details. Did you know the Aztecs sometimes used crocodile dung as sunscreen? A strangely earthy touch in a culture of gods and rituals. It's these little facts that remind you this was a living, breathing society, not just a myth or a horror story. The priests chant louder now, their words weaving a tapestry of power and fear. You catch snippets, prayers to Huitzilopochtli, the god of sun and war, asking for strength to keep the sun rising and the rains falling. They believe your offering feeds the universe itself, a grim but sacred duty. Historians still argue whether victims were always enemies or sometimes chosen from within Aztec society. Perhaps even volunteers craving a sacred death. The stone steps ahead gleam in the sunlight, rising steep and unforgiving. Each footfall feels heavier than the last. Your lungs burn, but you dare not slow. The crowd's energy presses you forward. Above, the temple looms, a giant heart pumping ritual and belief into the city's veins. You try to recall what you've heard about this place. The Templo Mayor in Tenochtitlan, the empire's heart. It's said to be a nexus where earth meets sky, where gods and humans converse through blood and ceremony. Today, you're the bridge. The priests wear masks of fierce animals, jaguars, eagles, serpents, embodying the divine forces they serve. Their eyes, though hidden, seem to bore into your soul, stripping away defenses you didn't know you had. You feel naked not just in body, but in spirit. A sudden noise, a drumbeat, louder, faster, shakes the plaza. Your heart races in time. Time itself fractures. Every sense is heightened. The rough texture of rope, the smell of burning resin, the heat of the sun, the pounding drums, the whisper of chants, the shuffling crowd, the sharp gleam of obsidian blades. You recall the tension of living in an empire where survival often hinged on rituals you barely understood, where human sacrifice was a currency of power and religion. The stakes are cosmic. Failure means not just death, but disaster for the entire world. Still, a flicker of hope surfaces. Some say victims were honored, treated like gods in death, their spirits destined to walk alongside deities. Others whisper darker tales of unrest and fear, souls trapped between worlds. The crowd parts as you near the temple's base. The priest's chants swell into a roar. Your breathing grows ragged, your vision tunnels. The sun's heat blurs into a golden haze. You grip the stone edge, the roughness biting into your palms, grounding you in this impossible moment. A child's voice breaks through the cacophony, a soft prayer whispered into the smoke-heavy air. You don't know the words, but the feeling is clear. A plea for mercy, for balance, for the world to keep turning. The moment stretches and contracts, seconds melting like wax. You are both spectator and sacrifice, a living offering in the Aztec world's eternal cycle. Fear, awe, resignation, and something almost like peace wash over you. As you ascend the final steps, the city sprawls beneath you, a labyrinth of temples, canals, markets, and homes. The sound of the festival fades into a distant murmur, replaced by the heavy silence of destiny. Remember that crocodile dung sunscreen? Yeah, the Aztecs were practical, sometimes oddly so, in the middle of all this ritual grandeur. It's a reminder that even in the shadow of gods, human life was messy, resourceful, and real. Historians still debate the extent to which sacrifice was about religion versus politics, control versus devotion. But here, in this moment, none of that matters. You are the pulse beating between worlds, the fragile line the Aztecs believed held the cosmos in balance. Your skin prickles under the gaze of thousands. The temple's summit awaits. Whatever comes next, you are here, caught in the final breathless moment where time, belief, and fate collide. You barely have a moment to catch your breath before the next stage begins. The rough hands that gripped your arms moments ago now strip away your rough prisoner's clothes. There's no time for protest or confusion. The ritual demands total submission. The sun beats down mercilessly as your skin is exposed to the scorching light, the fabric falling away like the last barrier between you and the gods. You feel the air's cool touch where it meets your skin, but it's fleeting. Around you, the temple plaza buzzes with a mixture of solemnity and fevered anticipation. The priests step forward, their presence commanding. Cloaked in jaguar pelts and adorned with turquoise necklaces, their painted faces seem otherworldly, part human, part divine. They circle you, murmuring prayers in Nahuatl, the language of the Aztec Empire. Their voices rise and fall like waves, weaving a spell meant to purify and prepare you. You catch fragments of words, Teotl, Mictlan, Tonatiuh, names of gods and realms that will soon define your fate. One priest approaches with a bowl of water infused with herbs and copal resin, its scent sharp and resinous. You're expected to drink, but more importantly, you must be sprinkled with it. The liquid touches your skin, cool and cleansing, washing away the dirt of the world you came from. It's both a blessing and a stripping away of your former self. You're becoming something new, an offering, a vessel for divine will. Your hair is washed with the same water, and you notice a faint stickiness as they anoint you with vibrant red dye, the color of blood and life. This pigment, called cochineal, is made from crushed insects and holds powerful symbolism. The priests apply it in intricate patterns, lines that trace your temples and forehead, marking you as chosen. You shiver, though it's hard to tell if it's from fear or the cool breeze. Your senses sharpen. The smell of burning copal smoke curls around you, filling your lungs with every breath. The distant chants mingle with the sharp clink of obsidian tools being prepared. The sun's rays catch on beads of sweat sliding down your back, mingling with the red dye, creating an almost ceremonial paint. One priest pulls a necklace from his neck and places it gently around yours. A simple string of jade beads, cool and smooth, against your heated skin. Jade is sacred to the Aztecs, symbolizing life and renewal, an odd comfort in the midst of your dread. The crowd watches silently, a sea of faces painted in the ritual's colors, reds, whites, blacks. Some nod solemnly, others whisper prayers. Children clutch their parents' hands, eyes wide, perhaps not fully understanding but sensing the gravity. The festival has transformed from joyous celebration to something heavier, more somber. As they finish adorning you, a feathered cloak is draped over your shoulders. Bright quetzal feathers shimmer iridescent green and blue, catching the light like pieces of the sky itself. This cloak is reserved for those deemed worthy, a sign that you're not merely a victim, but a sacred participant in the cosmic drama. It's strange to feel honored and terrified simultaneously. The Aztecs believed that sacrifice was not just death, but a form of immortality. Your spirit would join the gods, your death sustaining the sun and the earth. Yet the reality of your situation feels brutally human, naked, vulnerable, and at the mercy of forces beyond understanding. You try to focus on your breathing, steadying the rapid rhythm pounding in your chest. The air is thick with the scent of roasting food, mingling oddly with the sharp aroma of copal and sweat. You catch a glimpse of a small child offering a flower to a priest, a gesture of hope in this moment of darkness. The priest's chanting grows louder, a hypnotic pulse that seems to sync with your heartbeat. They circle you again, their movements deliberate and precise. One priest produces a mirror made of polished obsidian, holding it before your face. In its dark depths, you see yourself, painted, adorned, but unmistakably human. The mirror symbolizes reflection and passage, a portal between worlds. You're being shown your own transformation, a reminder that this moment changes everything. The sensation of the red dye on your skin is prickly, almost alive. You wonder briefly about the insects crushed to make it, their tiny bodies giving color and meaning to your fate. It's a quirky, almost macabre detail in the midst of such solemnity. Historians still argue whether the ritual cleansing was purely symbolic or had practical effects. Some suggest the smoke and herbs might have had antiseptic properties. Others see it as spiritual preparation only. Either way, the layering of meaning is profound. Your body feels strangely heavy and light at once, burdened by the weight of expectation, yet lifted by the ritual's rhythm. You notice the priests adjusting your posture, straightening your spine, lifting your chin. They want you to face the gods with dignity, not just fear. The crowd's murmurs soften as a priest steps forward with a bundle of sacred herbs, waving it over you in sweeping motions. The smoke rises, curling like ghostly fingers around your head and shoulders. The smell is sharp, almost intoxicating, cutting through the heat and sweat. A small girl's laughter breaks through the solemnity, a brief human sound that momentarily distracts you. You wonder if she understands what's happening, or if, like you, she's caught between worlds. Your hands tremble slightly, the rough texture of the stone beneath your feet grounding you. You try to remember the stories you heard about the gods. Huitzilopochtli, the fierce sun god, Tlaloc, the rainbringer, and others who commanded sacrifice as a way to nourish the world. The priests begin to whisper prayers to Huitzilopochtli, their voices weaving a tapestry of sound and meaning. They call upon him to accept your offering, to strengthen the sun's journey across the sky. You're part of something cosmic, something far beyond your personal terror. The feathered cloak itches against your bare skin, the Quetzal feathers catching light with every subtle movement. You almost imagine yourself as one of the birds soaring above the city, free and untouchable. But you are grounded here, caught in the grip of history and ritual. One priest steps closer, touching your forehead with a small obsidian blade, tracing a delicate line. The cool stone contrasts with the heat radiating from your skin. It's a mark of destiny, a signal that your time in this world is ending, and another journey begins. You can't help but think about the practical realities of this place, the temple's construction, the thousands who lived beneath its shadow, the markets bustling with life just beyond the plaza. This was a city alive with complexity not just sacrifice. A whispered memory surfaces, crocodile dung as sunscreen. It's these odd human details that remind you how real and messy life was, even in a culture so invested in the sacred. The priests step back and silence falls. Your body feels charged, the ritual's energy coursing through you. You stand at the threshold, transformed physically and spiritually, ready to face what comes next. The sun dips slightly, casting long shadows over the plaza. The scent of copal and blood mingles in the air. The crowd's anticipation is palpable, a collective breath held. You try to steady your mind, focusing on the rhythm of your breath. The world narrows to this moment, this cleansing, this preparation. Your old self fades as you become something else, something eternal. Historians still debate whether victims experienced moments of peace or sheer terror at this stage. Some accounts speak of resignation, others of fierce resistance. For you, the moment is a strange blend, fear, awe, and an almost surreal calm. You take a deep breath, feeling the coolness of the smoke and the warmth of the sun. Your fate awaits at the temple summit. But for now, you are the sacred offering, pure, adorned, and ready. You trudge upward, each step a deliberate act of inevitability. The stone beneath your feet is rough and worn, shaped over generations by the feet of countless pilgrims, priests, warriors, and now you. The sun beats down mercilessly, heating the steps until they almost seem to shimmer, and the scent of burning copal smoke lingers in the air like an omnipresent spirit. Around you, the crowd's murmurs fade into a distant hum, replaced by the pounding of your own heartbeat, a drum that pounds louder with every laborious footfall. The temple pyramid towers above you, a colossal structure that seems to pierce the sky itself. Its steep staircase is not designed for ease or comfort. It demands focus, balance, and respect. Your bare feet scrape against the stone, toes curling slightly as you ascend. The rough texture grounds you in the present, a tactile reminder that this is no dream or hallucination. This is real. This is happening. Behind you, the murmuring crowd trails, their faces a mix of fascination and reverence. Some clutch talismans, others hold flowers or offerings, casting occasional glances upward toward the summit where destiny awaits. The festival below has morphed into a solemn procession, the joyous celebration now tinged with a reverent hush. Your body protests. The climb is taxing, muscles burning with exertion, lungs gulping precious air. But there is no stopping. The priest's grip is firm, unyielding, their voices rising in chant to spur you onward. The rhythmic cadence of their prayers is a drumbeat against your racing heart, an echo of the cosmic rhythm they seek to maintain through this ritual. The climb itself is a metaphor, a transition from the earthly realm below toward the divine heights above. Each step brings you closer to the gods, closer to the moment when life and death entwine. The Aztecs believed that ascending the temple was a physical and spiritual journey, bridging worlds. You glance up, the temple's summit seeming impossibly distant. It is adorned with bright red paint and decorated with images of serpents and eagles, symbols of power and divinity. The jaguar, too, figures prominently, a creature embodying strength and mystery. The architecture is both intimidating and awe-inspiring, a testament to human ambition and devotion. Around you, The priests' chanting grows louder, their voices weaving complex invocations in Nahuatl. They call upon Huitzilopochtli, the hummingbird god of war and sun, asking for his favor and strength. The language is foreign to your ears, yet its power is unmistakable, vibrating through your bones. Your body is slick with sweat, the sun scorching your exposed skin, but the ceremonial red dye on your face and chest seems to pulse with a life of its own. It connects you to the ancient past and the sacred present. You wonder briefly about the insects crushed to create this pigment, cochineal, tiny bodies, sacrificed to paint your fate. The steepness of the stairs forces you to look down periodically, and you see the sprawling city beneath, the bustling marketplaces, the canals reflecting sunlight like ribbons of liquid light, the crowds gathered far below. The vastness of the empire stretches out like a living organism, vibrant and relentless. You try to steady your breath, but anxiety twists inside you like a knot. This ascent feels like a final test, a challenge to your resolve and spirit. The sensation of raw stone under your fingertips, the heat of the sun, the distant sound of drums all merge into a sensory flood that borders on overwhelming. Nearby, a priest in jaguar skin touches your shoulder, guiding your steps with a firmness that brooks no resistance. His face is painted with intricate designs, a mask of fierce devotion. His eyes meet yours for a fleeting second, and you detect a flicker of something, respect perhaps, or the weight of duty. The crowd's voices rise and fall like the tide. You recognize faces painted with red and black, some marked with white dots, the sacred colors of the festival. Some shout prayers, others weep silently. Children watch wide-eyed, absorbing the gravity of the moment. For them, this is a rite of passage, a story told and retold, a thread in the fabric of their lives. Your mind drifts briefly to the strange and practical. Did you know the Aztecs used crocodile dung as sunscreen? It's one of those quirky facts that remind you how human this whole experience is. Prayers and rituals mixed with earthy reality. Historians still argue whether the climb itself was meant to symbolize a literal journey to the heavens or a metaphorical passage of the soul. Either way, you feel the weight of centuries pressing down with every step. As you near the summit, the air shifts. The scent of blood mingles with copal incense, a potent mix that stirs something primal inside you. The altar awaits, its stone surface stained by countless sacrifices, its edges sharp and unforgiving. You try to focus on the moment, pushing back the swirling fear. The sun is a burning orb overhead, casting long shadows across the temple steps. Your skin prickles under the heat, the red paint almost glowing. The priests form a semicircle around the altar, their voices rising in a final crescendo of prayer. You sense the energy building, a collective surge of belief and dread. A small bird cries out somewhere nearby, its song piercing the heavy air. It's a reminder of life amidst the ceremony of death. Your heart pounds in rhythm with the drums as you take the last few steps. Your feet land on the altar platform, cool stone against your burning skin. The vast sky opens above you, a brilliant blue canvas punctuated by drifting clouds. You stand at the edge, a human figure poised between earth and sky, life and afterlife. The crowd below watches in hushed anticipation. Your breath comes fast, your body alive with adrenaline and a strange, serene acceptance. Remember the crocodile dung sunscreen? It's funny how even now, in this terrifying moment, such odd memories surface. A touch of the mundane amid the sacred. Historians still debate the true meaning of this climb and the experience it entailed for victims. Was it a moment of spiritual transcendence, a cruel test, or something in between? For you, it's a moment of overwhelming sensory detail and profound transformation. The altar is ready. The priests move into position. Your fate is sealed, but for now, you linger in this suspended moment between the climb and what comes next. The air is electric, thick with a mix of anticipation and solemnity as you stand atop the temple summit. You're no longer just a captive, you're a living symbol, the earthly vessel chosen to bridge mortal life and divine will. The high priests surround you, their painted faces masks of power and ritual significance. Their eyes lock onto yours, sharp and unyielding, divine eyes that seem to pierce through flesh and bone, reaching deep into your very soul. You feel the weight of their gaze, heavier than the blazing sun overhead. The priest's stares carry centuries of belief, authority, and a chilling finality. It's as if their eyes hold the balance of the universe, demanding your submission while offering no solace. The experience is disorienting. Fear entwined with awe, vulnerability mixed with an odd surge of importance. Around you, the temple plaza extends downward, a sea of faces painted in ceremonial colors. The crowd's collective breath seems to pause, waiting for the sacred moment to unfold. The murmurs hush into reverent silence. You catch glimmers of painted warriors, cloaked in jaguar skins, standing motionless like statues, guardians of this ancient rite. The priest's eyes are windows into the Aztec cosmos. They see beyond the physical, into realms where gods roam, and the sun itself depends on your offering to rise. You realize their gaze is not just judgment, it's expectation, a silent communication that you must fulfill your role in this cosmic drama. One priest steps forward, his eyes locked with yours, and raises an obsidian blade that glints sharply in the sunlight. The blade is a thing of terrifying beauty, black as the void, razor thin, crafted with such precision it seems almost alive. You remember hearing that obsidian, volcanic glass was prized by the Aztecs for its deadly sharpness, rivaling any metal. It's a tool of sacrifice, but also artistry, embodying the paradox of life and death intertwined. Your pulse quickens, the rhythm pounding louder than the distant drums echoing through the city below. The priest's gaze holds you, steady and commanding. You can almost feel the weight of generations who have stood here before you, their eyes meeting the same divine scrutiny, their fates sealed by this moment. As the blade catches the light, you notice the intricate carvings on its handle, depictions of serpents and eagles, sacred creatures symbolizing power, transition, and divine presence. The artistry is stunning, a testament to the skill and devotion of the craftsmen who made it. The crowd watches, breathless and hushed. Their faces reflect a mixture of reverence, fear, and hope. Some clutch sacred amulets, others bow their heads in prayer. Children peer wide-eyed, absorbing the gravity of the scene. It's a spectacle of faith, power, and human fragility. You try to steady your breathing, willing your heart to slow, but the adrenaline surges through your veins like wildfire. The priest's chants rise around you again, an ancient hymn calling upon Huitzilopochtli, the sun and war god, to accept your offering and grant strength to the empire. The chants are hypnotic, a rhythmic wave that seems to pull you beyond the physical plane. You feel yourself teetering on the edge of worlds, senses heightened yet strangely detached. The priest's eyes bore into yours, their presence a tether, anchoring you to this mortal coil even as your spirit begins to drift. Your mind races. Fleeting thoughts of family, past battles, and strange oddities you've encountered, like the crocodile dung sunscreen used by the Aztecs. It's a bizarre detail that somehow grounds you, a thread of humanity amid the ritual's grandeur. Historians still argue whether the intensity of this gaze was meant to inspire fear, reverence, or both. Some suggest the priest's stare was part of a psychological process, preparing victims for the transition from life to death. Others see it as a direct channel to divine power, a silent communion between mortal and God. The moment stretches and contracts simultaneously. You become acutely aware of the sun's heat on your skin, the weight of the feathered cloak pressed against your shoulders, the rough texture of the altar beneath your feet. Time slows to a crawl, every second etched with unbearable clarity. You realize the priest's eyes are not just watching. They are speaking a language beyond words. Their gaze carries blessing and command, acceptance and judgment. You are both honored and condemned, a chosen one and a doomed soul. Around you, the temple's intricate carvings catch the sunlight, casting dancing shadows that seem to flicker like spirits. The city below hums with life, distant but persistent, a reminder that the world continues even as your own story reaches its zenith. Your senses swirl in a dizzying mix. The sharp scent of copal incense, the low murmur of prayers, the distant calls of birds circling overhead. The obsidian blade gleams, poised between heaven and earth, a symbol of transition and finality. You feel a strange serenity amidst the terror, a fleeting moment where fear, acceptance, and awe merge into a singular experience. The priest's eyes remain locked on yours, steady and unblinking, as if holding the very essence of your being. The crowd's silence deepens, a collective breath held in anticipation. You are at the center of a cosmic dance, a living thread woven into the fabric of Aztec belief. Your fate is no longer just your own. It is intertwined with the sun's journey, the empire's survival, and the gods' eternal hunger. Remember that odd tidbit about crocodile dung sunscreen? It seems trivial now, but it's a reminder that beneath the weighty rituals and divine expectations lies a human story of survival, adaptation, and the messy reality of life in an empire both magnificent and brutal. Historians still debate the exact meaning of this gaze, whether it was meant to instill calm, assert control, or connect the victim spiritually with the divine. Whatever the intent, the effect is undeniable. You are stripped bare, body and soul, beneath those unyielding eyes. As the sun dips lower, casting a golden glow over the temple, you prepare yourself for what comes next. The priest's eyes remain fixed, a silent command that you are ready to cross the final threshold. The moment your spirit leaves your body, the physical world seems to recede, replaced by an overwhelming surge of light and sound unlike anything you've experienced before. Your senses sharpen paradoxically even as your flesh fades away. Colors blaze with unnatural intensity, and every sound feels magnified yet distant, like the echo of a dream slipping beyond reach. You feel neither pain nor fear now. Instead, there's a strange clarity, as if you're suspended between two realms, hovering at the threshold of life and death. The Aztec cosmos unfolds around you, a vast, layered universe where God, spirits, and the dead coexist in complex harmony. You drift through luminous landscapes of swirling colors and shifting forms. The sky above is a deep blue-black, studded with stars that pulse rhythmically like the heartbeat of the cosmos itself. You recognize familiar figures from the stories told in your youth. The sun god Tonatiuh blazing fiercely, the rain deity Tlaloc's shimmering water, and the feathered serpent Quetzalcoatl weaving through the heavens. Each deity radiates power and purpose, watching over your passage. A golden light envelops you, warm and comforting, as you begin the soul's journey. You sense the presence of psychopomps, divine guides tasked with escorting spirits to their rightful place. Their forms flicker between human and animal shapes, a jaguar prowling silently, an eagle soaring high, a serpent sliding gracefully. They communicate without words, their intentions clear and gentle. You float through realms of fire and water, earth and air, each element a test and transformation. The boundaries of time blur, moments stretch and compress. Memories surface, faces of loved ones, the laughter of children, the harshness of battle, the smell of maize roasting over an open flame. These recollections fuel your soul, reminding you of the life you lived and the role you played. Historians still argue whether the Aztec believed the soul's journey was a linear path or a cyclical passage through multiple realms. Some suggest that sacrifice victims were thought to ascend to join the sun's daily battle against darkness, while others propose a more complex cosmology involving various destinations based on how one died. As you move deeper into the spiritual expanse, you encounter dazzling visions, towering temples made of light, rivers shimmering with stars, and vast fields where ancestors await. The energy around you hums with a sacred resonance, vibrating through your essence. You feel connected to everything, the earth beneath your feet, the sky above, the beating hearts of the living. A sense of peace washes over you, yet tinged with urgency. The sun's journey depends on your sacrifice. Your death feeds the fire that keeps the world turning. You are both small and monumental, a single note in an eternal symphony. The sensory overload is intense. Colors swirl into patterns. Music fills the air with haunting melodies, and scents reminiscent of copal and flowers drift gently. You sense the presence of other souls, some radiant and joyful, others shadowed and uncertain. Your own spirit seems to glow brighter, tethered by invisible threads to the gods. You recall the practical detail that the Aztecs used crocodile dung as sunscreen. Even here, in this transcendent moment, such earthly facts float by, a reminder of the human world you left behind, grounding you amid the divine. As you ascend further, you reach a realm where the sun god Tonatiuh awaits. His fiery eyes blaze with approval, welcoming you as a champion who will accompany him in his daily battle across the sky. You understand that through your sacrifice, you become part of a cosmic cycle, sustaining life and light for all. Your spirit feels weightless and free, yet bound by sacred duty. The duality of existence, death and life, mortal and divine, merges within you. This transformation is the ultimate honor, a release from earthly pain into eternal purpose. The journey is not without mystery. Some scholars debate whether the Aztecs viewed the afterlife as a reward or a form of continued service. For victims of sacrifice, it was both, a gateway to godhood and a continuation of their role in sustaining the universe. Time dissolves, and you find yourself drifting toward a radiant horizon. The pulse of the cosmos slows, the colors soften, and the music fades into a gentle hum. You sense your spirit preparing to return, leaving behind the luminous realms to merge with the ancestors and the gods. In this suspended moment, you feel neither fear nor regret, only a profound sense of belonging. You are part of something greater, an eternal cycle of death and rebirth, light and shadow, human and divine. As your consciousness fades, the last images linger, the blazing sun, the swirling stars, the gentle touch of the divine guides. Your journey is complete, yet just beginning, in a new form. The moment your spirit drifts away, your physical body remains still atop the temple altar, bathed in the glaring sunlight of the city below. Around you, the ritual proceeds with precise, almost mechanical solemnity. The priests, their faces painted in sacred patterns, continue their chants, a haunting melody woven from threads of devotion, power, and cosmic necessity. Their voices rise and fall like waves, drawing the crowd into a trance-like state. The crowd itself is a sea of emotions, some faces painted with awe and reverence, others marked by quiet sorrow or tense anticipation. You notice the children watching with wide eyes, clutching their parents' hands, trying to grasp the enormity of the moment. Some adults whisper prayers, others stand silent, their gazes fixed on the altar, as if willing your spirit to journey safely. The sun blazes overhead, casting long shadows that stretch across the plaza, mingling with the flickering light of torches and burning copal incense. The heat is oppressive, and you can almost feel the sweat pooling beneath your skin despite your lifeless body. The temple plaza, usually bustling with market chatter and daily life, is now suspended in a heavy stillness. As the priests continue their ritual, they begin the sacred act of heart extraction, the pinnacle of the ceremony. This moment is both terrifying and profound, a physical manifestation of the offering your spirit has already made. The high priest, adorned in jaguar skins and turquoise, wields a specially crafted obsidian blade, razor-sharp and deadly, yet also a symbol of divine justice and order. You recall that the obsidian blade was more than just a tool. It was a sacred artifact, often intricately carved and blessed. The craftsmanship was so refined that it rivaled the sharpness of any modern steel blade. Historians still debate whether the exact technique of heart removal varied across regions or evolved over time, but the core symbolism remained consistent. The heart as the seat of life, offered to the gods to nourish and sustain. The high priest's movements are swift and practiced, almost ritualistic choreography rather than mere violence. The crowd collectively holds its breath, the tension palpable as the blade slices through the ribcage, exposing the still beating heart. This organ, glowing with the vital force of life, is lifted high for all to see, a powerful symbol of sacrifice and divine exchange. The heart is then offered to the sun god, Tonatia, the fiery deity who depends on such offerings to rise each day. This act is believed to replenish his strength and ensure the sun's journey across the sky, a vital cycle for the survival of the world. The crowd erupts into chants and prayers, their voices weaving together in a tapestry of hope, fear, and reverence. Your lifeless body remains draped in the feathered cloak, a symbol of honor, even in death. The priests quickly move to the next stage, carefully removing your body from the altar. The flesh is treated with ritualistic respect, sometimes buried, other times prepared for public display depending on your status and the nature of the sacrifice. You think about the practicalities of this ritual, how the Aztecs integrated the spiritual and the corporeal, blending reverence with an intimate knowledge of human anatomy and ceremony. It's a blend of the mystical and the real, where science and faith entwined seamlessly. The scent of burning copal incense thickens, filling the air with a fragrant haze that seems to bridge the gap between worlds. The temple plaza gradually returns to its usual rhythm, the crowd dispersing as the festival continues, the cycle of life and death turning inexorably onward. Amid the solemnity, you notice the curious and sometimes unsettling details. The use of crocodile dung as sunscreen earlier now seems almost a metaphor for the mix of raw human pragmatism and sacred ritual. These earthly touches remind you that behind the grandeur lies a complex society, grappling with the mysteries of existence. Historians still debate the psychological impact of sacrifice on both victims and witnesses, whether it was a source of communal cohesion or trauma, a blend of fear and faith that held an empire together. As the sun begins to set, casting the city in a warm amber glow, you sense the rituals closing. Your story, once a terrifying ordeal, becomes part of the empire's enduring narrative, a testament to the intricate relationship between humanity and the divine. Your sacrifice, like countless before, fuels the eternal dance of light and shadow, life and death, gods and mortals. And though your body lies still, your spirit joins the sun's radiant journey, forever a part of the cosmos. The echoes of the ritual still hum faintly in the air as you are moved away from the altar, carried by the solemn hands of priests and attendants into a quiet chamber beneath the towering pyramid. The temple's summit, bathed in fierce sunlight moments ago, now feels worlds apart. Here, in the shadows, the atmosphere is hushed and heavy with sacred purpose. Flickering torchlight casts long, wavering shadows against the rough stone walls, mingling with the thick, sweet scent of copal smoke that curls upwards like ghostly fingers reaching toward the heavens. Your body, once trembling with fear and adrenaline, now lies still but is far from forgotten. The priests begin their sacred rites with meticulous care, washing your flesh with water infused with fragrant herbs, a ritual purification meant to cleanse not just your body, but your soul. The water runs cool and soothing over your skin, washing away the dust and sweat of the day, symbolically wiping away the mortal coil, so that what remains is ready to cross the threshold into the divine. Next, they anoint you with vibrant pigments, turquoise and vermilion, the colors of water and fire, symbols deeply woven into the Aztec cosmology. These bright hues are more than decoration. They are a declaration that you now belong to the sacred realm, a liminal figure suspended between earth and the gods. The pigments stick to your skin, their vivid colors glowing faintly in the torchlight, marking your transformation from mortal to eternal. The priests adorn you with precious adornments, strings of jade beads and cotton masks intricately embroidered with symbols of the gods. These masks, shaped with haunting beauty from cotton, painted and studded with semi-precious stones, give you a visage both human and otherworldly. They are meant to honor your new role, to show the living that you have become part of something greater than yourself. In this act, there is both reverence and a strange kind of artistry, a paradox of death as a gateway to new life. Around you, the chamber hums with chants and prayers. The priests' voices weave an ethereal symphony, rising and falling with the flicker of the flames. They call upon Huitzilopochtli, Tonatiuh, and other deities to guide your spirit, to welcome you into their fold as a warrior of the sun. The sound feels both ancient and immediate, as if the temple itself breathes with the power of these incantations. Outside this sacred space, the city thrives. The market's lively noises drift faintly through the stone walls. The barter of goods, laughter of children, and the rhythmic pounding of drums from distant festivals. Life and death coexist in a delicate balance. Your sacrifice feeds the cycle that sustains them all. It's a thought both comforting and humbling. You recall the curious detail from earlier, the use of crocodile dung as sunscreen, a reminder of how the Aztecs fused practical knowledge with ritual practice. It's an oddly humanizing fact amid such grandeur, hinting at the everyday realities behind the divine ceremonies. Historians still debate whether the lavish treatment of sacrificial victims' bodies was reserved for elites or extended to all chosen offerings. Some evidence suggests that high-status captives received more elaborate rites and honors, while others underwent simpler, albeit still sacred, ceremonies. Regardless, the care shown to your body signifies the profound respect Aztecs held for the cycle of death and renewal. Your body becomes a vessel of cultural memory, a tangible connection between the mortal realm and the divine. The pigments and adornments, the prayers and offerings, they are not mere superstition, but a complex language expressing life, death, and the hope for transcendence. You sense your spirit growing lighter, your essence slipping further from the physical form while still tethered by ritual threads. The priests' chants deepen, their voices merging with the crackling incense and the distant murmur of the city. The chamber becomes a liminal space, a threshold where the living meet the dead. Beyond the temple walls, the Aztec world continues its ceaseless rhythm. Warriors train for future battles, artisans create vibrant works, and families prepare evening meals. The city pulses with energy, its very heartbeat sustained by sacrifices like yours. You are both victim and hero, a sacred participant in an eternal drama. Your death fuels the sun's journey, your spirit joins the pantheon, and your story becomes woven into the empire's enduring legacy. The contrast between the solemnity of your sacrifice and the vibrant life around you is stark. Death here is not an end, but a transformation, a passage to a new existence intertwined with cosmic purpose. As the torchlight flickers low and the incense burns down to embers, A serene calm envelops you. Your body, adorned and honored, rests peacefully, a testament to the Aztec belief in the sacredness of sacrifice. In this quiet chamber beneath the pyramid, life and death meet, mingle, and transcend. The moment stretches between worlds as your body lies still beneath the temple, its sacred form clothed in vibrant pigments and sacred beads, while your spirit journeys onward into realms unseen. The city's heartbeat pulses faintly through the walls, a reminder that life, with all its noise and color, continues beyond this sacred chamber. But within these hallowed stones, time flows differently, thick with reverence, mystery, and the weight of centuries-old beliefs. As your spirit ventures into the afterlife, you enter Mictlan, the Aztec underworld, a vast, dark realm ruled by the fearsome god Mictlantecutli and his consort Mictlantecuhtli. This is not a place of punishment, but a complex world of trials and transformation. You feel yourself crossing a threshold where the physical laws of Earth no longer apply. The air is heavy and cool, tinged with the scent of earth and distant fire. Shadows flicker around you like restless spirits, their forms shifting and swirling. Mictlan is a realm of layered obstacles, a labyrinth of challenges that your soul must navigate. You sense ancient paths stretching before you, winding tunnels, deep ravines, rivers of blood and bone. The journey is perilous but necessary, a rite of passage toward eventual rest and renewal. The Aztecs believed that the dead souls faced 4 years of wandering through Mictlan before reaching peace. You are not alone. Fellow spirits accompany you, some familiar, others strange, travelers sharing this journey through darkness. You recognize ancestors, warriors, and others who met similar fates, their forms glowing faintly in the gloom. There is camaraderie here, a shared resolve to endure and transcend. Historians still debate whether Mictlan was viewed more as a literal place or a symbolic representation of death's trials. Some suggest it was both, a spiritual geography, mapping the soul's transformation, and a metaphor for the transition from life to afterlife. As you navigate the treacherous paths, you encounter psychopomps, guides who help souls traverse Mictlan. These beings appear as animals, owls with piercing eyes, coyotes with knowing glances, and vultures circling overhead. They offer guidance, protection, and occasional challenges that test your resolve and purity of spirit. One test involves crossing a river of swirling obsidian shards, sharp and deadly, but also gleaming with a strange, otherworldly light. You must find a way across without harm, balancing faith and courage. The river symbolizes the boundary between mortal existence and eternal rest, a final obstacle before peace. The landscape is eerie yet strangely beautiful. Glowing fungi light the cavern walls, crystalline formations pulse with energy, and whispers of ancient songs echo through the vast chambers. Time seems to fold in upon itself. Moments stretch and compress as your soul moves through this timeless expanse. You recall the curious detail about crocodile dung sunscreen, an earthly, practical innovation from your life now seeming worlds away in this mystical realm. It's a touchstone to your humanity amid the ethereal. Your thoughts drift to the sun god Tonatiuh, who depends on sacrifices like yours to renew his strength. The energy of your sacrifice feeds the sun's journey, maintaining the cycle of day and night, life and death. This sacred duty links your soul to the cosmos, granting your journey purpose and meaning. The trials in Mictlan are challenging, but not punitive. You feel a profound respect for the balance between suffering and growth. The idea that death is a necessary passage toward renewal. Each obstacle you overcome is a step closer to eternal rest, a reward for endurance and faith. Surrounding you, the spirits form a shifting mosaic of light and shadow. Some glow warmly, their faces serene. Others flicker uncertainly, their forms blurred by fear or regret. The diversity of souls reflects the Aztec understanding of death as a complex, multifaceted journey rather than a simple endpoint. Historians still argue about the fate of sacrificial victims, whether they were believed to ascend to the sun's company immediately, or if their spirits, like others, had to endure the full trials of Mictlan. Some sources suggest a dual pathway, where certain sacrifices joined the sun god directly, while others undertook the underworld journey. As you traverse Mictlan's shadowy paths, you feel your spirit's strength growing. The darkness is not oppressive, but transformative, a crucible refining your essence. The trials teach patience, courage, and acceptance. You learn that death is not merely an end, but a gateway to profound change. Eventually, the darkness gives way to a faint glow, a promise of peace and rest beyond the trials. You sense the presence of ancestors welcoming you, their faces kind and radiant. The journey through Mictlan is nearing its close. You feel gratitude for the sacred role you have played in sustaining the world, for the gods' favor, and for the community that honors your sacrifice. Your spirit, once tethered to mortal fears, now soars with newfound freedom. The city outside pulses with life, markets bustling, children laughing, festivals ongoing, reminding you that the cycle of existence continues, sustained by countless sacrifices like yours. Remember the humble crocodile dung sunscreen? It's a reminder that even in the grandest of beliefs, the human touch remains. A practical, earthy detail amid divine mysteries. Historians continue to explore the nuances of Aztec afterlife beliefs, piecing together a complex mosaic from codices, artifacts, and oral traditions. The spiritual landscape you now traverse reflects an intricate cosmology blending fear, hope, reverence, and transcendence. As you step toward the horizon of light, the boundary between Mictlan and the next phase of existence begins to dissolve. You feel yourself rising, moving beyond trials toward rest, joining the eternal dance of life, death, and rebirth. Your journey through the underworld is a testament to resilience, faith, and transformation, a sacred passage linking the mortal world to the cosmos. The light that welcomes you beyond the trials of Mictlan is gentle yet radiant, bathing your spirit in a warm glow that feels like both homecoming and awakening. You find yourself in a realm unlike the shadowy depths you just left, a place of vibrant colors, music, and movement. This is Tlalocan, the paradise of the Aztec afterlife reserved for those who died by water or disease, and by extension, sometimes for chosen sacrificial victims deemed worthy of this blessed realm. The air here is thick with the scent of blooming flowers and fresh rain. The sound of rushing water flows endlessly, rivers and waterfalls weaving through lush gardens teeming with life. Exotic birds call out in joyous chorus, their feathers glinting in sunlight that seems to come from no single source, but rather emanates from the very fabric of the place. You feel the soft caress of a cool breeze that carries the hum of bees and the rustling of leaves. This realm feels alive, vibrant beyond mortal imagination. The colors saturate your vision. Greens are deeper, blues more piercing, and every petal and leaf seems etched with divine purpose. You sense that this is a realm of eternal spring, a refuge from the suffering and chaos of the mortal world. In Tlalocan, time flows differently, more fluid and forgiving. There is no pain or hunger, no fear or sorrow, only the gentle rhythm of life sustained in perfect harmony. You feel a profound peace here, a reprieve that embraces your spirit with open arms. It is as if the gods themselves have crafted this place as a sanctuary, a reward for those who have fulfilled their earthly destinies with honor. Your companions here are varied, warriors who fell in battle, women who died in childbirth, and others chosen by the gods. Together, you share this serene existence, basking in the eternal beauty of Tlalocan. Some gather by the crystal-clear lakes to fish, others tend gardens bursting with fruits and flowers, while children play beneath towering trees that seem to touch the sky. Historians still debate the exact criteria that determined who entered Tlalocan. Some believe it was exclusively reserved for those who died by water or illness, while others suggest that certain sacrificial victims were granted access as a mark of divine favor. The details remain elusive, lost in the folds of time and myth. As you move through this paradise, you feel the comforting presence of Tlaloc, the rain god himself, whose blessings nurture the land and sustain life. His image appears in your mind, an imposing figure adorned with blue-green feathers and carrying a lightning serpent. He embodies the duality of creation and destruction, bringing both life-giving rains and devastating storms. The natural beauty of this realm feels interwoven with the divine. Every plant, animal, and stream is infused with sacred energy, a testament to the Aztec belief in the interconnectedness of all things. Your spirit senses this unity, a seamless blend of the material and spiritual worlds. You recall the earlier detail about crocodile dung sunscreen, a small but vivid reminder of your earthly existence amid this heavenly landscape. It grounds you, a touchstone to the practical and the mundane, even in the midst of divine splendor. The transition from Mictlan's trials to Tlalocan's peace is profound. It feels like a rebirth, a renewal of purpose and joy. You understand that your sacrifice has granted you access to this realm, a place where your spirit can rest and rejuvenate before continuing its cosmic journey. The sounds around you grow richer. Melodies played on flutes and drums echo through the gardens, while soft laughter and conversation fill the air. You find yourself drawn to a group gathered near a sparkling pool, their faces radiant with contentment. They welcome you without words, inviting you to join in their eternal celebration. Despite the beauty, you sense the complexity beneath the surface. Tlalocan is not simply a paradise, but a necessary balance in the Aztec worldview. Death and suffering are real, but so too are renewal and hope. Your journey reflects this duality, embodying the cycle of life, death, and rebirth that defines the cosmos. Historians continue to debate whether the Aztecs envisioned multiple afterlife destinations as fixed realms or fluid states of being. The diversity of beliefs and regional variation suggests a rich, evolving spiritual landscape that resists simple categorization. You spend what feels like an eternity in this luminous place, absorbing its peace and vitality. Your spirit grows stronger, nourished by the endless spring and the companionship of kindred souls. You realize that this is a stage in your eternal passage, a sanctuary between earthly life and the final union with the divine. As you rest beneath a flowering tree, the breeze carries whispered stories of past sacrifices, heroic deeds, and divine encounters. These tales weave together to form the rich tapestry of Aztec belief, reminding you that your sacrifice is part of something far greater than yourself. Outside the boundaries of this paradise, the mortal world continues in its relentless cycle. The city's heartbeat, its markets, festivals, and daily rhythms pulses beneath the stone temple, sustained by sacrifices like yours and the devotion of millions. You feel a deep sense of gratitude for the gods who accept your offering, for the priests who honored your body, and for the community that remembers you. Your story is now woven into the eternal fabric of the cosmos, a testament to resilience, faith, and transformation. The journey through Tlalocan is both an ending and a beginning, a place of rest before the soul's ultimate return to the great cycles of existence. The transition from the serene paradise of Tlalocan draws to a close as your spirit senses the pull of the next stage in the cosmic journey, the realm of the sun god, Tonatiuh. This domain is unlike any earthly landscape, suffused with blazing light and vibrant energy, a place where the rhythm of life and death beats most fiercely. Here, your sacrifice becomes part of the eternal battle that sustains the world, and you find yourself drawn into a celestial dance between light and shadow. You feel the heat of the sun, intense and all-encompassing, yet strangely comforting. This is no mere physical heat, but a spiritual fire, an inferno of life force that burns within and around you. The colors here are sharper, the sounds more vivid, the crackle of flames, the roar of cosmic winds, and the rhythmic pulse of drums echoing across the vast expanse. The sun itself shines like a burning orb, its radiance both beautiful and unforgiving. In this radiant realm, you meet other souls who, like you, have been chosen to accompany Tonatiuh on his daily journey across the sky. They are warriors, captives, and nobles who have sacrificed themselves to fuel the sun's passage and maintain the balance of the universe. Together, you form a luminous host, your spirits aflame with purpose and determination. The Aztecs believed that the sun god required nourishment to rise each day, and sacrifices like yours were the essential offerings that kept the cosmos in motion. This belief is both humbling and empowering, as you realize your death is not an end, but a vital contribution to life itself. Your sacrifice feeds the fire that burns within the sun, sustaining its eternal fight against darkness. You sense the presence of Xiuhtecuhtli, the god of fire and time, whose flames burn eternally in the heart of the sun. His gaze is intense, filled with both judgment and acceptance. Through him, you understand that your sacrifice is part of a vast cosmic order where time, fire, and life are intertwined in a delicate balance. The landscape of this realm is both awe-inspiring and intimidating. Towers of flame reach skyward, rivers of molten light flow endlessly, and the ground beneath you pulses with heat and energy. The air is thick with the scent of burning copal and smoldering wood, familiar yet transformed into something sacred and eternal. Your spirit feels weightless yet charged, as if infused with the sun's power. You move with purpose, a warrior of light ready to join the endless battle against the encroaching darkness. This fight is not merely myth, but a living reality, a cosmic struggle that defines existence. Amid this fiery splendor, you recall the odd but vivid detail of crocodile dung sunscreen, a reminder of your earthly vulnerabilities and human ingenuity. It's a touchstone to your mortal past, grounding you even as you ascend to divine purpose. Historians still debate whether the sun god's journey was seen as a literal daily event or a symbolic representation of cosmic cycles. Some suggest it was both, reflecting the Aztecs' rich and multifaceted worldview that blended observation, myth, and ritual. As you join the host of souls surrounding Tonatiuh, you feel a surge of energy and unity. Together, you will travel across the sky, battling darkness to ensure a world's survival. Your sacrifice empowers this journey, transforming death into life, fear into courage. The sun's path is fraught with danger and challenge. It must pass through the 12 Trecena, the sacred periods marking time, and overcome obstacles like the monstrous creatures of the night. Your spirit stands ready, armed with the strength bestowed by the gods and the knowledge of your vital role. The drums beat louder, their rhythms echoing across the fiery plains. You and your companions move in unison, a radiant procession of light and purpose. The sky glows with the promise of dawn, the eternal cycle of night and day continuing unabated. You feel a profound connection to the living world below. The Aztec capital teems with life, children laughing, farmers tending crops, merchants trading goods, all sustained by the light you help nourish. Your sacrifice bridges the gap between mortal and divine, weaving your story into the fabric of existence. Historians still argue about the nuances of this belief, whether sacrificial victims were literally believed to accompany the sun, or if this was a metaphor for the renewal of life. Regardless, the symbolism is powerful, embodying the Aztecs' deep understanding of sacrifice as a force of cosmic balance. As the sun rises higher, its golden rays spreading warmth and life, you feel your spirit shine brightly. The eternal dance continues, a testament to the enduring power of sacrifice, faith, and the relentless pursuit of light. Your journey here is not an end, but a transformation, a luminous passage into eternity as a warrior of the sun, forever part of the cosmos's grand design. The realm of the sun god, Tonatiuh, pulses with radiant energy, a blazing stage for your spirit's eternal journey. Yet, as you dwell in this realm of light, your consciousness begins to shift again, drawing you into a new phase of existence, a liminal space where the boundaries between divine and mortal blur, and the nature of sacrifice itself unfolds in all its complexity. Here, you encounter the Tzitzimime, the star demons of Aztec mythology, celestial beings feared for their power and unpredictability. These skeletal figures, often depicted with terrifying fangs and wild hair, are both guardians and potential threats, embodying the chaotic forces of the cosmos. Their arrival signals times of cosmic upheaval and great danger, reminding you that even in realms of light, darkness lurks close by. You feel their gaze upon you, piercing and unsettling, yet strangely familiar. The Tzitzimime embody the duality of existence: death and rebirth, order and chaos, creation and destruction. They dance around the sun's path, threatening to devour the light during solar eclipses or times of cosmic instability. Historians still argue about the exact role and symbolism of the Tsitsimime. Were they malevolent forces to be feared or protective entities ensuring cosmic balance? Their ambiguous nature reflects the Aztecs' nuanced understanding of the universe's fragility and complexity. As you move among them, you sense the tension between hope and fear that permeates this realm. The sun's journey is perilous, threatened by these star demons who seek to consume its light. Your sacrifice has armed you with the strength to face these dangers, to stand as a guardian against darkness. The Tsitsimime dance around you, their skeletal forms shimmering with starlight, their movements both hypnotic and terrifying. You feel the weight of cosmic cycles pressing upon you, the eternal struggle between light and shadow, life and death. Amid their dance, you recall the practical realities of your mortal life, how the priests carefully prepared you for this journey, adorning you with sacred pigments and masks. These earthly rituals are threads that connect you to the divine, tools that fortify your spirit against the unknown. The chamber where your body once lay now feels distant, a mere echo beneath the temple stones. Your spirit soars in this celestial arena, a warrior poised between the forces of creation and destruction. You notice the stars glittering above, each one a potential Tsitsimitl, watching and waiting. Their presence is a reminder that the cosmos is a place of both beauty and peril, a balance constantly negotiated through sacrifice and faith. Historians debate whether the Tsitsimime were feared primarily during specific astronomical events like eclipses, or if they were ever worshipped or appeased as part of ritual practice. Their dual role as terrifying and protective beings encapsulates the Aztec worldview's complexity. Your spirit moves with purpose, weaving through the constellations, standing vigilant against the encroaching shadows. The drums of the sun's procession beat steadily, grounding you even as the celestial dance grows ever more intense. You recall the peculiar, earthy detail of crocodile dung sunscreen, a symbol of your mortal ingenuity amid cosmic grandeur. It's a touchstone that humbles you, reminding you of your origins and the journey from earth to sky. As the Tsitsimime swirl around, you feel a surge of resolve. Your sacrifice has granted you a place in this eternal struggle, a role as guardian of the sun and protector of life's fragile light. The sun's path continues, a blazing thread through the night sky, pursued by these star demons who test its strength and resilience. Your spirit, bright and unyielding, stands ready to defend against their threat. The cosmic dance is relentless, a cycle of creation and destruction that defines existence itself. Your sacrifice is woven into this dance, a vital spark in the eternal flame. As the celestial battle unfolds, you sense the immense responsibility and honor bestowed upon you. You are no longer merely a victim, but a participant in the grand cosmic order. The city below continues its rhythms, the marketplaces, the festivals, the prayers, all sustained by sacrifices like yours, by faith and fear intertwined. Your spirit shines amidst the stars, a beacon of life and hope against the dark. The Tzitzimime may threaten the sun's light, but your sacrifice ensures its enduring brilliance. This chapter of your journey is a testament to resilience, faith, and the delicate balance of the cosmos, a story etched into the fabric of time and space. The cosmic battlefield where your spirit now resides continues to unfold in all its complexity. Yet another layer of meaning reveals itself as you move beyond the immediate struggle with the Tzitzimime. You sense a shift, a transition from the blazing sunlit realm to a domain where the forces of fertility, renewal, and earthly abundance converge. The domain of the earth goddess Coatlicue. This new realm is vastly different. No longer the searing heat of the sun or the chilling shadows of the underworld, but a rich, fertile land teeming with life. The air is thick with the scent of moist soil and blooming flowers, a fragrance that evokes both comfort and awe. Lush vegetation surrounds you, and the ground beneath your feet pulses gently as if alive. Here, death and life mingle in a sacred dance, intertwined in an eternal cycle that sustains the world. Coatlicue, she of the serpent skirt, manifests before you, not as a frightening monster, but as a powerful maternal figure embodying both creation and destruction. Her form is adorned with serpents, skulls, and bones, symbols of her dominion over life and death. Despite her fearsome appearance, you feel a deep reverence for her as the earth itself, fertile and life-giving, but also a reminder of mortality's inescapable grip. The Aztecs believed that Coatlicue gave birth to Huitzilopochtli, the hummingbird god of war and the sun, who led the Mexica people to their destined homeland. In this realm, you witness the raw power of creation, the fertility that emerges from destruction. Your sacrifice echoes here, feeding the earth's cycle, nourishing the crops and the people who depend on them. You recall the ceremonial dances and rituals that once took place in her honor, wild, rhythmic, and deeply primal. Priests and warriors adorned in serpent costumes moved with fierce energy, embodying the goddess's dual nature. These performances were not merely entertainment, but sacred acts meant to invoke her power and ensure the land's fertility. Among the Aztec people, Coatlicio's fearsome visage served as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the necessity of sacrifice. Her image adorned temple walls and altars, a constant presence in the spiritual and physical landscape. Historians still debate the precise interpretations of Coatlicue's symbolism. Was she primarily a mother goddess, a death deity, or a complex combination of both? Her multifaceted nature reflects the Aztec worldview's embrace of paradox and balance. As you move through this fertile realm, you feel your spirit intertwining with the earth's pulse. You understand that your sacrifice is not confined to the celestial or underworld domains, but also contributes directly to the renewal of the living world. Your death feeds the soil, the crops, the very sustenance of your people. The vibrant life around you is both beautiful and humbling. Birds sing among flowering trees, insects buzz in the warm air, and small animals dart through underbrush. All are part of the sacred cycle, nourished by the balance of creation and destruction. You remember the earlier detail of crocodile dung sunscreen, a symbol of human resilience and adaptation amid harsh realities. It serves as a grounding contrast to the divine, a reminder that even in the midst of cosmic grandeur, earthly life persists with all its quirks and challenges. Your spirit moves in harmony with the rhythms of this realm, feeling the ebb and flow of seasons, the cycles of growth and decay. The fertility of the earth is a powerful force, one that demands respect and sacrifice. Kotlikiuo's presence is constant and commanding, a reminder that life and death are inseparable. Your sacrifice resonates here as an act of participation in this eternal dance. Historians also discuss how the Aztecs might have used Coatlicue imagery politically to reinforce social hierarchies and the necessity of warfare and sacrifice. Her terrifying aspects underscored the power of the state and the gods, legitimizing the empire's expansionist ambitions. You feel a profound connection to your people through this realm. The farmers who till the soil, the priests who perform rituals, the warriors who defend the land. Your sacrifice supports them all, a vital link in the chain of life. As you observe the cycles of growth and decay, you realize that your journey is far from over. The earth's pulse is steady, but demands constant renewal, just as the sun's journey and the underworld's trials do. Your spirit absorbs the lessons of Kotlikiuo's realm, the necessity of balance, the power of renewal, and the sacredness of sacrifice. The city below thrives on this balance, its people oblivious to the cosmic forces at work, yet intimately connected through faith and ritual. The bustling markets, the vibrant festivals, and the quiet prayers all depend on the cycles you now embody. The sacred serpent skirts of Kotlikiue remind you that death, while feared, is also a source of life. Your sacrifice is a seed planted in this fertile soil, destined to bloom in the lives of generations to come. Historians continue to explore these themes, piecing together Aztec beliefs from art, codices, and archaeological finds, revealing a civilization deeply attuned to the mysteries of life and death. Your spirit moves gently now, embraced by the earth's warmth, ready to continue its eternal passage, carrying the weight and honor of your sacrifice in every breath. The pulse of the earth begins to fade as your spirit is gently lifted from Coatlicue's fertile realm, carried upward through layers of sky and clouds toward a new domain, Tlaloc's watery paradise, Tlalochan, where rain and fertility reign supreme. This realm is a shimmering landscape of lakes, rivers, and verdant gardens bathed in perpetual mist and gentle showers. The air is cool and damp, filled with the scent of fresh rain mingling with blooming flowers. Here, the cycle of water nourishes life, and your sacrifice finds new meaning in this realm of abundance and renewal. As you enter Tlalochan, you're greeted by the presence of Tlaloc, the rain god, whose visage is marked by goggle-like eyes and fangs, symbols of his dominion over water and storms. His presence is both awe-inspiring and comforting, a reminder of water's life-giving power and destructive potential. The gardens here are lush beyond earthly imagination, bright orchids, towering maize stalks, and fruit trees heavy with ripened bounty. Streams ripple with crystal-clear water, and rainbows arc across the sky in endless cycles. Your spirit feels lighter here, buoyed by the gentle rhythm of fallen rain and the promise of renewal. Tlalochan is a place where those who died by drowning or water-related illnesses find peace, but it's also a sanctuary for select sacrificial victims honored by the gods. In this watery paradise, you are embraced by a community of spirits who share your fate, their faces serene and joyful. The Aztec belief in Tlalocan reflects their deep understanding of water's central role in sustaining life. Farmers depended on the rains to nourish their crops, and rituals to appease Tlaloc were vital for the community's survival. Your sacrifice in this context is an offering to maintain the delicate balance between human needs and nature's forces. You recall the earlier mention of crocodile dung sunscreen, a practical, earthy detail amid these divine realms. It's a reminder that your mortal life, with all its ingenuity and imperfection, laid the foundation for your spiritual journey. Historians still debate the extent to which Tlalocan was considered a literal afterlife destination versus a symbolic representation of fertility and renewal. Some argue that it embodied both, serving as a spiritual ideal and a metaphor for life cycles. In this realm, water flows endlessly, not just in rivers and lakes, but also in the tears and prayers of the living. You sense their voices carried on the breeze, their hopes and fears mingling with the rain's gentle patter. Your sacrifice resonates here, a bridge between the mortal world and the divine forces that govern it. You observe rituals performed by spirits and priests alike, offerings of flowers and jade, dances honoring Tlaloc's power, and songs that echo through the mist. These acts of devotion sustain the balance and ensure the continued flow of life-giving water. The presence of water in Tlalocan is multifaceted, both nurturing and destructive, gentle and fierce. This duality mirrors your own journey, where death serves as both an ending and a beginning. As you move through the shimmering gardens and crystal streams, you feel a profound connection to the cycles of nature and the community you left behind. Your sacrifice nurtures the land, feeds the rains, and sustains the people. Historians continue to explore Tlalocan's place within the broader Aztec cosmology, revealing a complex spiritual geography that intertwines natural elements, deities, and human experience. The sounds of flowing water and distant thunder create a soothing soundtrack to this realm, a reminder that even in death, life persists and transforms. Your spirit rests here for a time, gathering strength and embracing the endless renewal that water symbolizes. You understand that your journey is part of a larger cycle, one that connects earth, sky, and the waters between. The city below continues its rhythms, the market's chatter, and the temple's chants, a living testament to the faith and sacrifices that sustain them. Your story, woven into this cosmic tapestry, is a testament to the enduring power of sacrifice, faith, and the natural world cycles. As you prepare to move beyond Tlalocan, you carry with you the blessings of water, the gift of life, cleansing, and renewal, ready for the next phase of your eternal journey. The gentle mists of Tlalocan gradually dissolve as your spirit is carried upward, moving beyond the lush waters and verdant gardens into a new and startlingly different realm, the sky itself. This is the celestial domain of the stars, the heavens that stretch endlessly above the Aztec world. Here, you become part of the glittering tapestry of constellations, the sacred patterns that ancient priests traced and interpreted to guide their people through time and space. You feel the coolness of the night air, crisp and invigorating, brushing against your spirit like a delicate caress. The stars around you sparkle with a clarity that outshines any earthly light, each one pulsating with energy and meaning. This realm is timeless, suspended between eternity and the moment, a place where the cosmos reveals its mysteries in silent brilliance. In this stellar domain, you join the ranks of the celestial dead, those who have transcended mortal life to become stars themselves. The Aztecs believed that certain sacrificial victims, particularly those who died in ways associated with the sun or the moon, were granted this exalted fate. Their spirits were transformed into bright lights in the night sky, forever visible to the living below. As you move among these radiant souls, you sense a profound connection not only to the cosmos, but also to your community. The stars are not distant strangers. They are ancestors, heroes, and gods. Their light a constant reminder of the cycles that govern life and death. The night sky becomes a map of stories, each constellation a chapter in the vast narrative of Aztec belief. You recall the intricate calendar systems, the Tonalpohualli and Xiuhpohualli, that intertwined with these celestial patterns, guiding rituals, agriculture, and warfare. The priest's knowledge of the stars was not mere superstition, but a sophisticated science, blending observation with myth to sustain the empire. Historians still debate the extent to which these celestial beliefs influenced everyday Aztec life, and how sacrificial victim spirits were incorporated into this cosmic order. Some argue that becoming a star was a symbolic honor, while others suggest a more literal afterlife destination. The celestial realm is a place of paradox, simultaneously cold and warm, distant yet intimately connected. You feel the steady pulse of cosmic time, the slow turning of the heavens that marks the passage of ages. This rhythm is both soothing and relentless, a reminder of life's impermanence and the eternity that follows. Among the stars, you encounter the goddess Coyolxauhqui, the moon goddess and sister to Huitzilopochtli. Her shattered form is said to be reflected in the craters and shadows of the moon, a symbol of struggle and transformation. Her story resonates with your own sacrifice, a cycle of death and rebirth that fuels the cosmic balance. Your spirit dances among constellations shaped like warriors, animals, and sacred symbols. These starry figures embody the ideals and values of your people, heroes who continue to inspire even after death. The night sky is a canvas of divine artistry, a celestial theater where the myths of your culture play out eternally. You remember the earthly detail of crocodile dung sunscreen, a humble yet vivid reminder of your human origins amid this vast cosmic stage. It grounds you, a thread linking the mundane to the divine. The night air vibrates with silent songs, the unspoken prayers of ancestors, and the whispered hopes of the living. Your spirit becomes part of this eternal chorus, a light shining in the darkness, a beacon of faith and sacrifice. The Aztec cosmos is a complex web where stars, gods, and mortals are woven together in intricate patterns. Your sacrifice has granted you a place among the heavens, a role in the eternal dance of light and shadow. Historians continue to explore these beliefs, piecing together the rich symbolism of Aztec astronomy and its integration with ritual and sacrifice. The stars remain a profound testament to the civilization's spiritual depth and cosmic awareness. As you glide through this luminous realm, you feel both awe and peace. The vastness of the night sky is humbling, yet it offers comfort, a reminder that death is not an end, but a transformation, a journey into light. Below, the Aztec city sleeps under the canopy of stars you now inhabit. Your loved ones look upward, their eyes tracing the constellations, unaware that your spirit shines among them. You carry this connection forward, your sacrifice immortalized in the cosmos, a story written in light for generations to come. The celestial realm is both home and destination, a place where your spirit rests and yet continues to shine, guiding the living through the cycles of time. Your spirit, still shimmering from the celestial glow of the starry realm, gradually descends into a new domain, a realm crackling with fierce energy, raw power, and relentless movement. This is the sacred battlefield of Huitzilopochtli, the hummingbird god of war and the sun, whose fiery spirit commands both destruction and protection in the Aztec cosmos. Here, your journey as a sacrificial victim transforms into that of a divine warrior, eternally engaged in the cosmic struggle to uphold life and order. The air around you hums with intensity, charged with the sounds of distant battle cries, rhythmic drums pounding like thunder, and the clatter of obsidian weapons clashing in sacred combat. The sky above burns a deep crimson, like an eternal sunset awash with the heat of war. You sense the electric tension as warrior spirits prepare for their endless duty, their faces fierce with determination and honor. This realm is not a place of rest, but one of action, sacrifice, and purpose, where the fate of the world hinges on each encounter. You feel the weight of your new identity settling upon you, the sacred warrior chosen by the gods to fuel the sun's journey across the sky with your eternal valor. The Aztecs believed that the sun required the strength and blood of warriors to fight off the darkness each day, and that only the bravest souls who died in battle or through sacrifice could join this divine host. Now, your spirit has been transformed from a mortal victim into a celestial soldier, part of Huitzilopochtli's radiant army. Your body may have been left behind on the temple's altar, but your spirit now pulses with unyielding strength, adorned in shimmering hummingbird feathers and obsidian armor forged by divine hands. You hear the chants of priests from your earthly life, the sacred hymns that prepared you for this moment, echoing through your consciousness like a battle cry that stirs your soul. The rhythmic drum beats from the great temple resound within you, guiding your steps as you march into eternity. Around you stand countless other warrior spirits, captives who showed courage, nobles who accepted their fate with grace, and commoners elevated through their sacrifice. Each one carries their own story of valor and honor, their faces illuminated by the glow of celestial fire. You feel an unbreakable bond with them, forged in blood and purpose. Together, you are the eternal defenders of the sun, a radiant force whose bravery keeps the world alive. The battlefield itself stretches endlessly, a fiery landscape dotted with jagged obsidian peaks and rivers of molten lava. Flickering flames dance around the edges of this realm, their heat fueling your resolve. The sky above roils with storm clouds streaked by lightning, symbolizing the ferocity and chaos inherent in this eternal war. Despite the violence, there is an undeniable sacredness here, a solemn acknowledgement that this battle is necessary for cosmic balance. Your spirit moves with precision and grace, wielding invisible obsidian blades and shields that shimmer with divine light. You engage unseen enemies, pushing back the darkness that threatens to consume the sun's path. The energy within you burns bright, an eternal flame fed by your sacrifice and devotion. Each clash, each victory, strengthens the cycle of life and renewal. Remember the curious detail of crocodile dung sunscreen from your mortal life. A stark contrast to this divine battlefield, it's a small but vivid reminder of your human origins and the journey that transformed you from a fragile mortal into an immortal warrior. Even here, that earthy practicality anchors your spirit, balancing the celestial and the earthly. Historians continue to debate the exact nature of this warrior afterlife. Some view it as a literal place where souls fight alongside Huitzilopochtli, while others see it as symbolic of the valor and sacrifice integral to Aztec society and identity. Regardless, the theme of martial honor pervades the culture, underscoring the importance of warfare and sacrifice in sustaining both empire and cosmos. You hear the roar of battle hymns rising in the distance, mingling with the crackling flames and pounding drums. Your comrades in arms move in unison, a disciplined host glowing with sacred light and unyielding courage. This is more than a battlefield. It is a crucible where the fate of the world is forged. Below, the bustling Aztec city pulses with life, markets alive with vibrant chatter, temples echoing with prayers, and warriors preparing for earthly battles. All depend on the spiritual strength that your sacrifice now fuels. You are part of this grand cycle, your spirit entwined with the living and the divine. The warrior realm is a place of paradox, violent yet sacred, relentless yet purposeful. Here, death is not an end, but a vital transformation into eternal strength. Your sacrifice echoes in every clash of weapons and every drumbeat that marks the passage of time. You embrace your role with fierce pride and solemn reverence. You are no longer merely a victim, but a beacon of hope and power, an eternal guardian whose courage ensures the continuation of life and light. The sacred fire within you burns ever brighter, illuminating the path for those who will follow. As you march alongside Huitzilopochtli and the legion of warriors, you know your journey is far from over. This battlefield is both your eternal home and your sacred duty, a realm where faith, courage, and sacrifice merge to sustain the cosmos. Your spirit pulses with the unyielding rhythm of the drums, your heart beating in time with the eternal battle. The sun's fiery journey continues, powered by your unwavering resolve and the sacrifices of countless others. This is the ultimate testament to the Aztec worldview, that life and death, war and peace, light and darkness are inseparable forces, forever locked in a cosmic dance. Your sacrifice has granted you a place within this dance, an immortal flame in the vast expanse of time. And as you stand on this sacred battlefield, you feel the weight of history and the power of faith settle upon you, a mantle you wear with honor and grace. After the fierce blaze of Huitzilopochtli's battlefield, your spirit is gently carried away from the realm of war and into a place that seems at first tranquil, yet layered with profound complexity. You arrive in Mictlan, the Aztec underworld, a vast and shadowy domain ruled by Mictlantecutli and Mictecatzihuatl, the Lord and Lady of Death. Unlike the celestial realms or the fertile earth, Mictlan is a land of quiet, eerie stillness, a place where the souls of most ordinary dead journey through a long and perilous passage before finding rest. The landscape of Mictlan is stark and haunting, endless mountains that shift and reshape beneath a dark, oppressive sky, deep valleys filled with fog and whispering winds, rivers that flow sluggishly, thick with an otherworldly gloom. You feel the weight of silence, broken only by distant echoes of footsteps and the faint rustling of dry bones. The air carries a chill that seeps into your very spirit, and the shadows seem alive, watching, waiting. Here, death is not an instant transition, but a prolonged journey. The Aztecs believed that souls destined for Mictlan had to traverse 9 distinct levels, each with its own challenges and guardians. Your spirit senses the daunting obstacles ahead, mountains to climb, rivers to cross, fierce winds and creatures intent on blocking your path. The journey through Mictlan could last 4 years, a long passage testing your endurance and resilience. Mictlantecutli, the skeletal lord, and Mictecatzihuatl, his equally fearsome queen, rule this realm with a dark majesty. They are both terrifying and strangely dignified figures, embodying the inevitability of death and the solemnity of the afterlife. Their skeletal faces, adorned with bones and skulls, serve as reminders of mortality and the fate awaiting all. Your spirit moves cautiously through the shifting terrain, aware that this journey is both physical and spiritual. Each step requires resolve and courage, as the challenges are designed not to punish, but to prepare souls for final rest. You recall the prayers and rituals performed by your family and priests, meant to aid your passage and appease the gods of death. Unlike the more exalted realms you have visited, Mictlan lacks the blazing light of the sun or the lush vitality of the earth. Instead, it holds a somber beauty, a place of transformation and renewal through endurance. The trials you face here are not battles of strength, but tests of patience, wisdom, and acceptance. You remember the curious detail from your mortal life: crocodile dung sunscreen, an earthy practical safeguard against the harsh sun. Here, in the shadows of Mictlan, that tangible reminder of earthly survival feels distant, yet it grounds you in the memory of your life's fragility. Historians still debate the precise nature of Mictlan's journey. Some argue that it was seen as a metaphor for the soul's purification, while others suggest it was envisioned as a literal physical and spiritual trek. Archaeological findings and codices offer glimpses into the complex beliefs surrounding this realm, but many mysteries remain. As you navigate the dark paths, you encounter spirits like yourself, some lost, some steady, all bound by the shared experience of mortality. Occasionally, you hear the mournful songs of those still clinging to life's memories, their voices carrying across the shadows like fragile lanterns. The underworld's geography is fraught with symbolic meaning. Mountains represent obstacles and challenges. Rivers mark transitions. Caves are entrances to the unknown. Each step you take is a movement toward acceptance and peace. You feel the presence of the living world beyond, your loved ones, the priests, the city pulsing with life and ceremony. Their offerings, prayers, and sacrifices ripple through the veil, offering comfort and strength to souls like yours. Mictlan's realm is neither punishment nor paradise, but a place of solemn passage, a mirror reflecting the inevitability of death and the hope for rest beyond. Your spirit learns to embrace the stillness, finding dignity in the journey. The Aztecs placed great importance on funerary rites and burial practices, believing they affected the soul's success in Mictlan. Your own burial, though lost to time, would have been accompanied by rituals meant to ease your path and honor your sacrifice. As you traverse the shifting landscapes, you come to understand that death, while feared, is an integral part of the cosmic cycle. Your journey through Mictlan is a testament to endurance, acceptance, and the hope for eventual peace. The echoes of distant drums and chants from the living world reach your ears, a reminder that you remain connected to those who remember you. Their faith sustains you as much as your own resolve. Historians continue to uncover layers of meaning in Mictlan's depiction, revealing a rich tapestry of belief about death, afterlife, and the soul's transformation. Your spirit moves steadily, each step a quiet victory, each breath a reaffirmation of your place in the eternal order. The darkness of Mictlan is profound, but not absolute. Somewhere beyond lies the promise of rest and renewal. Your journey through the shadowed realm is a passage toward that light. Emerging from the shadowed corridors of Mictlan, your spirit feels a subtle yet profound transformation. The oppressive gloom of the underworld gives way to a realm bathed in soft twilight. The intermediate plane where souls prepare for their ultimate rebirth or final rest. This is the liminal space between death and transcendence, where the boundaries of life and afterlife blur, and your journey takes on a new dimension of meaning. Here, you encounter the gentle presence of Xochipilli, the god of flowers, music, and dance, whose realm is awash with color and light. Petals drift lazily on warm breezes, and melodies weave through the air, carrying the promise of renewal and joy. This realm is a stark contrast to the harshness of Mictlan, offering solace and celebration amid the eternal cycle. Your spirit is drawn into a festival of senses, vibrant hues, intoxicating scents, and harmonious rhythms converge to create a space of transcendence. The Aztecs believed that such pleasures were not mere earthly indulgences, but sacred expressions of divine energy, a necessary balance to the trials of death and sacrifice. In this place, you feel a lightness, a shedding of burdens carried through your mortal life and the arduous journey of the underworld. The delicate fragrance of marigolds, the sacred flower of the dead, envelops you, symbolizing both mourning and hope. Music played on flutes and drums lifts your spirit, inviting you to dance alongside other souls who have found this moment of grace. The Aztec concept of afterlife was complex and multifaceted, encompassing realms of hardship and joy, punishment and reward. Your passage into Xochipilli's domain represents the celebration of life's beauty and the enduring power of art and culture, even beyond death. You recall the earthly detail of crocodile dung sunscreen once more, a humble testament to the everyday resilience that sustained you. Now, in this ethereal realm, such practicalities dissolve into the poetry of existence. Historians continue to explore the role of Xochipilli and related deities in Aztec spirituality, debating whether this realm was viewed as a temporary respite or an eternal destination for certain souls. The interplay of joy and sorrow in Aztec ritual reflects a nuanced understanding of human experience. Amidst the blooming gardens and melodic currents, your spirit communes with others who share your fate. Warriors, lovers, farmers, priests, each contributing their unique essence to the collective harmony. This communion reinforces the interconnectedness of all life and the shared journey beyond mortality. You sense the presence of Chihuacoatl, the goddess of childbirth and midwifery, who embodies the cycle of birth and death. Her watchful eyes remind you that every ending births a new beginning, a truth that resonates deeply within your transformed spirit. The festival continues, a dance of shadows and light, where the music of the cosmos echoes through the eternal night. You are both participant and observer, swept up in rhythms that transcend time. This realm challenges the notion of death as a final cessation, instead offering a vision of continuity and transformation. Your sacrifice, once a tragic end, now unfolds as a vital step in an everlasting dance. The city below remains unaware of these celestial celebrations, yet their festivals and offerings mirror the joy and reverence you now experience. The living honor the dead, and the dead, in turn, inspire the living. Your spirit basks in the warmth of this liminal realm, embracing the duality of loss and renewal. The boundaries between worlds soften, and you glimpse the infinite possibilities of existence beyond the mortal coil. Historians still debate how these joyful realms fit within the broader Aztec cosmology, reflecting ongoing efforts to understand a civilization that embraced paradox and complexity in its beliefs. As you move through the gardens of light and sound, you carry the memories of your earthly life and the trials of death with a newfound grace. Your sacrifice has granted you access to this realm of beauty and hope. The dance continues, a symbol of eternal return, where every ending leads to a beginning, and every loss is softened by the promise of renewal. Your journey here is both celebration and meditation, a quiet affirmation of life's enduring spirit beyond death. The music fades gently as your spirit prepares to move onward, carrying the joy and wisdom of this realm into the next phase of your eternal journey. The ethereal joy of the previous realm gradually fades as your spirit is gently carried onward, moving beyond the blossoming gardens and vibrant celebrations into a realm both vast and mysterious, the realm of the ancestors. Here, in the sacred space between time and memory, you join the countless souls who have come before, the foundation of your people's history and identity. This ancestral domain is a place where the past breathes and the future is shaped, where your sacrifice intertwines with generations long gone and those yet to come. The landscape stretches endlessly, a vast expanse of towering trees whose leaves shimmer with golden light, their roots intertwined with the very fabric of the earth. Soft winds carry whispers of ancient stories, songs, and wisdom, echoes of lives once lived and sacrifices made. The air is thick with reverence, a profound sense of connection that transcends individual existence. As you walk among these ancient spirits, you sense their presence not as ghosts, but as vibrant essences, guardians of tradition and memory. Their faces bear the marks of time, etched with the joys and struggles of countless lifetimes. You realize that in this realm, identity is both personal and collective, woven into a vast tapestry of cultural continuity. Your spirit is welcomed here with gentle warmth, embraced by those who came before and those who will follow. Together, you form a living bridge between past, present, and future, a testament to the enduring power of community and shared heritage. The Aztecs placed immense importance on honoring ancestors, believing that the spirits of the dead influenced the living world. Through rituals, offerings, and stories, the living maintained a sacred relationship with their forebears, ensuring balance and protection. Your sacrifice is now part of this ongoing dialogue, a vital thread in the fabric of cultural survival. You recall the mundane detail of crocodile dung sunscreen from your mortal days, a simple act of care that now feels like a precious link to your humanity amid this vast ancestral realm. It grounds you, reminding you that even in death, the echoes of daily life persist. Historians continue to explore how ancestor worship shaped Aztec society and religious practice, debating the extent to which these beliefs influenced political power and social cohesion. This ancestral realm embodies those mysteries, a place where faith and history converge. As you move deeper into this sacred space, you witness scenes of ancestral rituals, the lighting of candles, the laying of flowers, the sharing of food and drink. These acts, repeated across generations, create an unbroken chain of reverence and remembrance. You feel the strength of this tradition, a force that sustains your people through time. The trees around you seem to pulse with life, their branches reaching skyward as if to embrace the heavens. Their roots run deep, anchoring the ancestral spirits firmly within the earth's embrace. This dual connection symbolizes the Aztec understanding of life's cycles, growth, decay, and renewal. You sense the presence of Tezcatlipoca, the enigmatic god of fate and memory, whose shadowy figure watches over this realm. His gaze is both inscrutable and protective, a reminder that the past shapes destiny and that sacrifice is part of a greater cosmic plan. The ancestral realm is both solemn and vibrant, a place of quiet reflection and profound energy. Here, your spirit rests and renews, nourished by the collective memory and enduring love of your people. The city below, bustling and alive, remains unaware of this sacred communion. Yet their prayers, festivals, and offerings ripple across realms, connecting the living with their ancestors. Your sacrifice now resonates in this spiritual network, a beacon of continuity and hope. Historians debate the symbolic and literal meanings of the ancestral realm, uncovering layers of meaning that reveal the Aztecs' deep engagement with mortality and legacy. As you walk among the golden trees and whispering winds, you feel a profound peace, a sense of belonging that transcends time and space. Your journey as a sacrificial victim has brought you here, to the heart of your people's spiritual heritage. This realm is a sanctuary, a place where death is not an end, but a passage into collective memory and eternal life. The whispers of ancestors guide you, their voices a soothing balm that eases the final transitions of your soul. You understand that your sacrifice is not isolated, but part of an ongoing story, a story of survival, resilience, and faith. As you prepare to move onward, you carry with you the strength and wisdom of generations, a gift that will illuminate the path for those who come after. Your spirit, once a frightened mortal, has become a luminous thread in the grand tapestry of Aztec existence, woven with honor, courage, and enduring love. Your journey through the ancestral realm begins to gently fade as you find your spirit lifted and transported to an altogether different dimension, one that is at once mysterious and profoundly intimate, the place where the essence of time itself resides. This is the realm of cyclical eternity, the Aztec concept of Tonatiuh's domain, the sun god who embodies the perpetual dance of creation, destruction, and rebirth. Here, you become immersed in the rhythms and patterns that govern not only your fate, but the destiny of the entire cosmos. You feel yourself moving along the spiraling pathways of time, each step syncing with the pulse of the sacred calendar. The Tonalpohualli and Xiuhpohualli calendars intertwine before your eyes, one governing the ritual cycles of 260 days, the other marking the solar year of 365 days. Together, they create a complex, interlocking pattern that directs the flow of life, death, and sacrifice. Your sacrifice, now part of this intricate weave, contributes to maintaining balance in the universe. The sky above you is alive with swirling colors, vibrant reds, golds, and deep blues mirroring the movements of the sun across the heavens. You are both observer and participant in this cosmic dance, feeling the immense responsibility that your sacrifice carries in sustaining the cycles of day and night, growth and decay, light and darkness. The atmosphere is charged with a sacred energy, a hum that vibrates through your very essence. You sense the presence of Tonatiuh himself, his radiant face blazing with divine fire, his arms outstretched in eternal motion. His gaze is intense yet compassionate, a reminder that the sacrifices offered in his name fuel the sun's life-giving journey. Your spirit is imbued with the vitality of the sun's flame, burning bright against the encroaching darkness. You become a vital spark in the endless renewal of the world, your sacrifice echoing through the ages as a source of life and transformation. Amid this dazzling realm, you recall the mundane detail of crocodile dung sunscreen from your earthly existence, a small but vivid memory that underscores the profound transition from mortal fragility to cosmic significance. It serves as a tether to your humanity amid the grandeur of divine forces. Historians still debate the precise interpretations of the Aztec calendars and their connection to sacrificial rituals. Some suggest the calendars were primarily agricultural tools, while others emphasize their cosmological and spiritual significance in shaping Aztec life and death. As you navigate the spiraling paths of time, you encounter other spirits, priests, warriors, farmers, each contributing their unique energy to the cosmic cycle. Together, you form a harmonious current that propels the universe forward, sustaining the balance between chaos and order. You sense the presence of Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent deity associated with wind, learning, and renewal. His subtle influence weaves through the patterns of time, reminding you that knowledge and transformation are integral to the cycle of life and death. The domain of cyclical eternity is both awe-inspiring and humbling. It reveals the Aztec understanding that life is not linear, but a continuous process of change, where sacrifice is not an end, but a necessary part of ongoing creation. Your spirit feels light, yet purposeful, carrying the legacy of your sacrifice as a vital component of the cosmic order. The rhythms of the sun and moon, the cycles of seasons and ceremonies, all are sustained by the flow of energy you now embody. The living world below remains immersed in its daily struggles and celebrations, yet your spirit moves beyond, intertwined with the eternal patterns that govern existence. Your sacrifice resonates in every dawn, every harvest, every festival, a perpetual source of renewal. Historians continue to explore how the Aztecs integrated their sophisticated calendrical systems with religious practice and social organization. This realm embodies that intricate fusion of science, spirituality, and sacrifice. You feel a profound connection to the endless cycles, a sense of peace that transcends the fear and pain of your mortal death. Your sacrifice has become a catalyst for transformation, a spark that ignites the eternal flame of life. As the cosmic dance unfolds, you move with grace and strength, a luminous thread woven into the vast tapestry of time. Your journey nears its culmination, but the energy you embody will endure forever. The rhythms of Tonatiuh's realm pulse steadily, a heartbeat that carries the promise of new beginnings and eternal renewal. Your spirit is part of this sacred cycle, a beacon of light in the endless flow of time. You embrace the role bestowed upon you by the gods, the warrior, the star, the ancestor, the flame of time, each facet reflecting the profound meaning of your sacrifice. And as you merge fully with the eternal cycles, you feel a sense of completion and infinite possibility, a quiet triumph born from the depths of mortal experience. The journey you've traveled through countless realms of light, shadow, and divine purpose now brings you to the final threshold, the place where your spirit will rest, reflect, and complete its long passage through the Aztec afterlife. This is the quiet sanctuary of eternal peace, a realm where the burdens of sacrifice dissolve into gentle stillness, and the echoes of your mortal life harmonize with the cosmic order. Here, your soul finds both closure and renewal, embracing the sacred balance of death and eternity. The landscape is serene, yet richly textured, rolling meadows bathed in a soft golden light, the air fragrant with blooming copal and sweet flowers, and a sky awash with hues of twilight that shift slowly as if breathing. This realm feels like the warm embrace of home after a long journey, a place where the tension of struggle yields to the calm of acceptance. As you step into this sanctuary, your spirit is greeted by the soft murmur of sacred songs. Chants once sung in distant temples, now transformed into a gentle lullaby for your soul. The voices of ancestors and gods mingle in a harmonious chorus, weaving a timeless melody that cradles you in comfort. The atmosphere vibrates with peace and reverence, inviting you to rest without fear or regret. Here, the presence of the goddess Coatlicue, the mother of gods and earth itself, is palpable. Her watchful gaze is both fierce and nurturing, a reminder that life and death are intertwined forces in an eternal cycle. You feel her protective embrace, a symbol of the endless regeneration that follows every ending. Your spirit is light and free, no longer tethered by mortal fears or earthly pain. The memory of crocodile dung sunscreen, the quirky detail from your human days, now feels like a distant but cherished memento of your fragile, vivid life. It reminds you that even in the face of divine transformation, your humanity remains a vital thread in the tapestry of existence. Historians still discuss the symbolic meanings of this final realm, with some viewing it as a peaceful resting place akin to paradise, while others interpret it as a state of spiritual balance and unity with nature and the cosmos. Regardless, this sanctuary embodies the ultimate reward for those who endured the trials of life, death, and sacrifice. You find yourself surrounded by familiar spirits, those who, like you, sacrificed for the good of the world and now share in this collective peace. Together, you form a quiet community, bound not by obligation, but by mutual respect and understanding. The silence between you is not empty, but filled with shared history and enduring love. The city of Tenochtitlan, far below and out of sight, continues its vibrant life, unaware of the sacred stillness that now cradles your spirit. Yet the prayers and offerings of the living ripple through this sanctuary, sustaining the bond between worlds. Your sacrifice remains honored, a living legacy in the hearts of those who remember. In this final realm, time flows differently, slowly, gently, like a soft river, carrying your spirit toward infinite horizons. The cosmic cycles you once navigated now soothe you, a lullaby of stars and seasons that guides you toward rest. The stars above shimmer with a gentle radiance, each one a soul like yours, shining with the light of sacrifice and love. You feel yourself becoming part of this celestial constellation, a permanent light in the vast night sky. Your journey from the fear and chaos of mortal sacrifice through the fiery battlefield of Huitzilopochtli, the shadowed depths of Mictlan, the blooming gardens of Xochipilli, the ancestral realm, the cycles of Tonatiuh's time, has brought you here. Each step, each challenge, each transformation has shaped you into a being of radiant peace and eternal presence. As you rest in this sanctuary, the sacred rhythms slow, and your spirit gently unfurls like a flower at dawn. You are both part of the endless cycle and a unique soul, with a story that echoes through eternity. Historians continue to uncover the layers of Aztec beliefs about the afterlife, recognizing the complexity and depth that shaped a civilization both fierce and compassionate. Your journey embodies these paradoxes: pain and beauty, sacrifice and grace, death and renewal. The final moments of your spirit's passage are suffused with gratitude for the life you lived, the sacrifice you made, and the cosmic role you now fulfill. This peace is hard-won, a quiet triumph over the fears and uncertainties that once shadowed your mortal existence. As the twilight deepens, you sense a gentle invitation to merge fully with the eternal, to become one with the stars, the earth, and the gods who watch over the world. Your spirit rises softly, glowing with the light of countless sacrifices before you. This is the sacred rest promised to those who gave everything, the ultimate honor, and the eternal reward. You have transcended mortal limits, becoming a luminous thread woven into the infinite tapestry of Aztec cosmology. Your sacrifice has become legend, a story whispered among the living and the dead, a testament to courage, faith, and the enduring power of ritual. The sanctuary embraces you completely, a final cradle of peace and light where your spirit can shine forevermore. Now, as the gentle twilight fades into a deep, velvety night, your spirit rests in this sacred sanctuary of peace and renewal. The journey you have taken, from the vivid, trembling moments before your sacrifice, through the fiery trials of battle, the shadowed underworld, and the radiant realms of rebirth, has brought you here, to a place beyond fear and pain. Here, the cycles of life and death unfold softly, like a lullaby, sung by the cosmos itself. Your story, woven with threads of courage, surrender, and transformation, becomes part of an eternal tapestry, one that stretches beyond time and space, connecting you forever with the gods, ancestors, and the living world you left behind. The light you carry now is not a fleeting spark, but a steady flame shining through the ages, a beacon of hope and continuity. Feel the warmth of this cosmic embrace, the soothing hum of the universe's heartbeat that cradles your soul gently, reassuring you that death is not an end, but a profound passage. The memories of earthly life, the sunburn softened by crocodile dung sunscreen, the vibrant festivals, the whispered prayers, remain cherished echoes, grounding you in your humanity even as you transcend it. Rest now, knowing your sacrifice was meaningful, that it nourished the sun's journey, honored your people, and balanced the world. In this quiet peace, you are free, free to dissolve into starlight or to watch over those who walk the earth below. Thank you for traveling this path with me tonight. May your dreams be gentle, your heart light, and your spirit ever bright.